We're here on the Mission Impossible red carpet chatting with the stars, including Tom Cruise himself. What's been the biggest Mission Impossible in your own life?
You know, that's a hard to answer. You know, I think making these movies, you know, they're really such a joy to make. And, you know, ever since I was a kid, to be able to go and travel the world, and the wonderful thing about Mission is that that's a hallmark of a Mission movie. The action, the set pieces, the locations, we get to be able to celebrate the architecture and the culture in these different areas with the multicultural cast. And yet it also, you know, when you look at the story, it has suspense and twists and turns, and we get to do this very cool, outrageous action.
Let's talk about the themes. What does it take to gain your trust and your loyalty?
You know, my trust, my loyalty. It's like, I mean, I'm one of those guys. It's like when I say I'm going to do it, you know, that's why when I say I'm going to be there, I'm there. And I think those are the things I look in friendship. Somebody who's going to be honest and trustworthy, and you know, work hard like these guys, and the kind of relationship that I have with McQuarrie. You know, making movies, you really have to love to work hard. And you know, McQuarrie has tremendous amount of talent, but that guy he can go stride for stride and working hard, and I have a lot of admiration for him.
Well, thank you so much, Tom.
Thank you, man.
How has your own interest in politics and government impacted your role in the movie?
Not at all. You know, the key to these movies is you leave all that out of there. Do you notice that the villains in the movie are like this like candy assortment of like every different nationality you can imagine? We're not going to demonize this nationality or the villain isn't from this country or that region. They're from all over. It's an international cartel of villains, which is the way to go now. We don't want to offend anybody. What kind of workout are you on, by the way?
Let's do it together.
What are you doing, man?
You know,
what do
you do smoothies. You know, you lift a little heavy.
And then what do you do? Are you running? What's your cardio?
Just a little bit on the bike, but heavy, high resistance. No, just on the bike. You want to work out sometime?
Sure, let's go.
Let's do it. Done. But Alec, what are you doing? Hold on a second. I'm 27.
I'm twice your age.
And you're feeling amazing. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Listen to me. Look at this guy. No, I'm not as big as you. Look at this guy. Obviously, you've been shooting something. No.
Protein shakes. Alec, come on.
You're incredible. Look at. Oh my God. Look at this guy.
That's the cardio.
Now listen to me. Chris Griffin, the greatest spin. Did you? He was the greatest spin teacher in the city. You want to know why?
Why?
Because he only said 4 words. He said up, back, attack, and climb. And he never talked.
How about yoga? You must be doing a lot more yoga now.
No.
Hilaria hasn't converted you?
I do.
What's been the biggest Mission Impossible in your own life?
Well, I don't know. I don't think anything's impossible, but you know, there's a lot of things that are very difficult to do in life, and that's an everyday experience. I find everything to be quite difficult. Nothing comes easy, but it's not worthwhile if it's not difficult to get, right?
What's been your most satisfying accomplishment after going through that challenge?
My daughter. Yeah, becoming a parent.
There's so many questions of trust and loyalty in this film. What does it take to gain Jeremy Renner's trust and loyalty?
Time, I suppose. Probably time, understanding. I think those things, you know. I have a handful of people that I trust and love with my life, so it's nice to have that.
When we spoke at the Avengers red carpet, you mentioned that the commonality between renovating houses and doing a movie is the attention to detail.
Sure.
What kind of attention to detail did it take to really evolve your character from one film to the next in this franchise?
Well, you know, you're sort of limited to what the story is. You know, you want to help the director tell his story and still fit within the realm of what your character was. So in this film, I was limited to holding the team together and didn't have stunts to go play with or be a threat in any way. So instead of creating tension like I did in Ghost Protocol, this is much more about cutting the tension with humor and holding the team together. So it was a wonderful sort of challenge and responsibility and finding different aspects of the character. So that was equally as exciting. And I didn't have to train every day like all these people did. So I got to have a lot more fun than they did.
What's been the secret to the success of the team, to that chemistry?
I think the chemistry, I think the archetype of the sort of chess piece analogy of who we are, what we are, being a warrior, a reluctant hero, a jokester, or whatever it is, or, you know, I think it's that sort of that kind of, and then we're all really great at what we do, so I don't know, it's got to be something like that, I think, and then we all just get along on and off camera, so I think that shows on celluloid.
Well, Jeremy, it's nice to see you.
Yeah, thank you, man.
What's been the biggest Mission Impossible in your own life?
Oh, my biggest Mission Impossible in my own life. Oh, I wish I had a witty, intelligent, crazy answer.
We've got time, we've got time.
Do you know what? I think actually for me it was kind of maneuvering around this movie. To be able to do the things I've done in this film that I would never thought possible. That has been very challenging and fun.
What did it take to create the chemistry with Tom?
It doesn't take much to create chemistry with Tom. Have you met him?
I'm about to.
There we go. I'll give you 2 seconds and you'll love the dude.
Now, it's all about loyalty and trust. What does it take to gain your loyalty and trust?
Haha. I don't know. That's very private, isn't it?
It's just us. It's just us. No, it's just us.
Yeah, trust is an interesting question, isn't it? I have my dear friends, and I like people. I like happy people, kind people, and people who don't lie.
How did it feel when you found out that you were going to be a part of this franchise?
Absolutely, flabbergastingly, intoxicatingly crazy. I had like an inner explosion because I wasn't allowed to tell anyone for 24 hours. And that was weird. And then I probably called my mom and jumped up and down on a bed. And I'm processing it right now.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
What's been the biggest mission impossible in your own life?
Just to kind of stay grounded while all this crazy stuff's happening. You know, it's been an amazing journey for me. I'm a big fan of film, and I studied film at university, and I grew up loving films like Star Wars and Star Trek and Mission Impossible, and here I am, kind of like in them.
So what did it take to stay grounded?
You just got to concentrate on the fact that it doesn't really mean anything ultimately. You know, it's just there are far more important things happening in the world than this. But you just got to remember that it's all a bit of fun, and it doesn't mean that you're particularly important or special. It's just you're lucky to do the job you like, I think.
Let's talk about the themes here in the film. What does it take to gain your loyalty and your trust?
Just a bit of honesty and tolerance, being a good person, that kind of thing. You know, if you're worth it, you got it.
What's been the biggest mission impossible in your own life?
I guess answering this question.
Really? How does it feel so far?
No, the honest truth is I think the biggest Mission Impossible, and here's the thing about Mission Impossible, is that it's always called Mission Impossible, but they always manage to find a way to pull it off. And so the biggest Mission Impossible has been for my wife, Katie, and I to manage being human beings and also being married and being parents. And it is the constant struggle of finding a way to balance it all is sort of, it seems impossible, and yet you find a way to do it.
Speaking of family, let's talk about the movie's themes. What does it take to get your loyalty and your trust?
Honestly, I go into situations fully trusting, and it is that unfortunate and rare but occasional occurrence where you realize, oh, that was misplaced and not deserved. So really, I go in trusting people, and it's when I see that someone might have an agenda that I change the way I deal with them.
What's been the biggest mission impossible in your own life?
Reaching this point right here. I would, if you had told me 7 years ago that I'd be here, I would have said there's no way.
Now that you've reached this point, what did it take to balance your vision and Tom's vision and really putting your mark on this edition in the franchise?
They're really kind of one and the same. We come to it from a place. Tom comes to things from a place of pure emotion. He's always trying to find a way to bring the audience some kind of feeling. And I come from a place of storytelling and writing and trying to figure out and how to deliver that. So we agree on where we're going and then attack it from two different angles. So there's very little conflict.
When you first found out about the job, how did you begin to attack the legacy and approach the legacy of this franchise?
By watching all the movies and sweating a lot. Like it's a very intimidating, it's a very tall order.
Mission Impossible Rogue Nation opens on July 31st. In Times Square, I'm Baruch Shemtov, Fox 5 News.